I want you to forget everything you know about mattress retail conferences because we are so excited here at the FAM to announce Sleep Summit 2023, our new flagship event. If you're at your computer right now, I want you to go to sleepsummit.co. So sleepsummit.co. You're going to get all the details. It's happening October 9th through the 12th in beautiful Bentonville, Arkansas. That's my backyard. And Sleep Summit is built for forward-thinking mattress retailers and furniture retailers who are hunting for ways to make more money, increase profits from big ideas, people who want to optimize their business with AI and automation and new tools. It's for mattress retailers that really need to train their teams to massively grow their sales. And it's for leaders who really need space from the day-to-day to strategize and reflect. This is going to be dynamic presentations. We're going to have engaging breakout sessions, innovative group activities. I want you to block your calendar right now, October 9th through the 12th for Sleep Summit 2023. It's going to be a one-of-a-kind experience. You don't want to miss it. I promise you don't want to miss it. So tickets are available right now. The early bird special is going on. Okay, the prices are going to go up after July 31st, so don't wait. Get your entire team there. Go to sleepsummit.co right now, and we'll see you at Sleep Summit 2023.
Fam.news.
Welcome to the Sleep Summit Show, where we uncover bold ideas with innovators, entrepreneurs, and thought leaders making waves in the sleep industry. With your host, Mark Kinsley.
When selling mattresses became big online, you needed a checkbook, traffic, and innovation. It turns out one of those three was not as important as the others. The founder of iSense, the adjustable firmness mattress, is here to tell his story and give you his secrets from the sleep industry. Paul Longman is here, and the Sleep Summit show begins right now.
We get the best reactions from our customers on the Englander products.
Katie and I compare a lot of notes when we're helping people in the store. And when we bring them over to the beds, they just lay down on it and they're like, that's it.
They don't want to try anything else.
Katie and Greg Law, Sweet Dreams Mattress and Furniture.
We've gotten just some of the best feedback from some of the Englander beds. We love them because we know our customers are really happy and sleeping well.
Learn more and get started today at englander.com.
Welcome to the Sleep Summit show. And Paul Longman, thank you so much for being here. You're the president and CEO of iSense and the all-new Sleep 8 Holdings, which is a Portuguese mattress retailer in Portugal and Spain and the UK. It sounds like you've been on a big adventure over the past couple of weeks.
Sure have. Well, thanks for having me, Mark. It's an absolute pleasure to tell the story. But it's certainly been an adventure. The last month since taking on the expanded role has certainly opened up the door to some huge opportunities.
Well, that's exciting. Well, first of all, give us the lay of the land. So for people who don't know you, you have been in the mattress industry for a significant amount of time. You have a lot of experience. You were a managing director with Leggett Platt, a company that we both spent time at, not at the same time. And then you were the CEO and director of AH Beard, the founder of Advanced Sleep Technologies, the founder of iSense, and now you're expanding your role and moving into the retail side with Sleep 8 Holdings. You're the guy that has a lot of secrets about the sleep industry.
None that I can tell. Well, maybe a few.
Well, tell us how, give us the current state. So iSense and Sleep 8 Holdings, how is that connected and how is that coming together?
So it's a new adventure that it was really, looking for an opportunity to expand iSense, looking to take it to the next level. And, our colleagues in Portugal, friends, long-term business friends, and, had a fairly new business that was vertically integrated, manufacturing through their own stores that are located in Portugal, Spain, UK, and some other adventures on the way. Felt that we actually had something to offer each other, that the technology that was within iSense and then the capabilities that they have in broader range of furniture, upholstery furniture, sofa beds, that together we could actually do something quite incredible. So it really served both our needs to bring my experience to run their business collectively with iSense, as well as the technologies that we both had putting together into just a really nice package.
Oh, that's exciting. We're going to get into the full story as well. And we're also going to find out where is the strangest place that Paul Longman has ever slept. But we got to start out with our Sleep Summit quiz question. So here's how it works. So we give you the quiz question, but we don't answer it until the end. And so, Paul, you're going to help us with this quiz question today because this is a tidbit, a secret of the sleep industry that I didn't know about. So the question is, what percentage of mattresses sold in the US are adjustable firmness? Okay, so that answer is going to be coming up, and I think it's going to surprise a lot of people. Did I get that right? What percentage in the US?
Yep, that's about what it is.
Okay, so
Actually,
let's go there for a minute because I remember when I first saw iSense, I was working at Leggett Platt, and you had a show space at the Las Vegas market, and of course, being a spring guy at the time, I'm all springs all the time. That's all we thought about. We heard that our old friend, well, Perry Davis's old friend Paul Longman, had started up this company that figured out how to adjust a spring so you could change the firmness of the mattress. And apparently it was very demonstrable. You could actually feel it happening. I go over there, I lay down. I think I had the cameras on at the time. And sure enough, you did it. What was the story behind you getting into that business, creating that product and launching iSense?
wow. I guess I'll wind the clock back to Australia. You're right. I've had a long history with this industry that when it sort of pulls you in, you tend to stay in. So I love this industry and love everything about it. Furthermore, I love innovating within the industry and trying to do things that, perhaps haven't been done before. And, my tenure before leaving Australia was as CEO of AHB, as you pointed out. And I guess during that time, AHB is an awesome family company with great history and a great reputation in the US as well. But we're always innovating, always looking for new things and always looking to develop. So in addition to the long established lines of product that AHB had managed, they became the licensee for Sleep Number in Australia and New Zealand, which we held that license for about 11 years. And we built a great line of product, and it was really my first introduction to adjustable firmness sleep. And during the course of that journey, what we discovered is a lot of customers asking, or when trying the beds, retailers, comments coming back and insights from the marketplace was very much about how do I get the comfort of a conventionally built mattress, one of those brands, with the great adjustability benefit of that brand. And, that really sparked a thought in my mind about, you're right, an airbed, whilst gives great access to adjustability, air alone as a support system has some fundamental challenges. So, I started to look at how you would build a bed where you take the best of a conventionally built mattress with the very best springs, foams, and all the materials available to us, but get the adjustability of an airbed without being a pure airbed. And, that really birthed all three ideas. That what we took to Vegas was actually one of each. We took a traditional airbed, we took an adjustable foam mattress, an adjustable spring mattress. So, we overloaded ourselves in the US market with every which way you could adjust a mattress. We wanted to make that offer. So, look, living in Australia with this idea, you're not getting any younger, and this burning passion to actually try to take this concept and deliver it to market was really the beginning of shaking hands with great friends at AHB, saying goodbye and setting off to the US to think I could conquer the world overnight. And that's been so far a 6.5 year journey. We arrived here in 2016, and took these ideas and started to develop products, looking for ideas, looking for patents, looking for things that might already exist, what didn't exist that we could design and develop. And I remember the day I went to Leggett Platt asking them to help me develop the coil that I would use to add the air technology into the coil, which they were, to their shock, horror, and surprise, thought I was crazy, but said, "We'll help you anyway." And I remember showing up with the coil that I laid out on the floor and in front of Perry's team and in front of the R&D team, and I said, "Lay on this," and gave them the remote and said, "Watch this coil adjust," and it blew their mind. So we had the beginning of our adjustable firmness mattress using a variable coil connected to an air technology. We had a desire for an adjustable foam mattress, but the patents were already out there, so we sought those patents out, sought the owner of the patents, and actually got a global license for that patent. So that became the beginning of our ability to change the density of foam using air to actually compress into the foam densify the foam, therefore changing the firmness. So that became the second line of product. And then, of course, we came up with, or we developed our own version of an airbed. So we went to Vegas with these three core technologies, which was just mind-blowing. And I'm not sure if you remember, but we actually, we're thinking about how are we going to sell this to to the retail population. So we decided to do a 3D animation where you put the headsets on and go into an immersive dive into the mattress, and we take you on a roller coaster tour in a VR experience where we drop you into the bed, we miniaturize you, drop you into the bed, and then sail you through all of the materials so you can actually see what the technology is doing inside of the bed. And that had lines out the door, around the corridor, and it was going for 3 days like that. So we really tried to not only bring innovation but bring some clever ways to show the industry that we were here and show the industry that we had something unique and exciting, and that paid dividends.
And for people that know about this part of the business, of course, many retailers from all over the country, all over the world, they come to Las Vegas market. They see new innovation and technology. They see mattresses. They see products they want to buy, and they come back and they write orders. They bring them back to their store and they start selling them. So is that what happened? Do people write orders, bring them back to their store and start selling them?
I think the only thing I didn't take to the stand is enough pens, because I never got anyone to sign up for it. Look, we did achieve some small wins with some boutique retailers that saw the value in it, but we knew we needed to launch with some decent sized retailers, and I guess the discovery, it was at the end of that 3-year journey when things hadn't worked out to our expectation, and that we hadn't really landed the retail customers that we wanted to. We did some serious thinking, and I came away with a conclusion that there's three things, and you mentioned them in your introduction, that there are three things you need to really have an opportunity to bring something to market, and that was money. The fatter the checkbook, the greater the opportunity you have of attracting attention. One that's become very popular in the modern world of D2C companies that have landed in retail is, hey, I can bring you traffic. I have a lot of people looking for my product. If I place it in your store, I'll be able to drive people to your store, and you'll benefit in many, many ways. So that was number two, which we didn't have. So points 1 and 2, we didn't have anywhere near enough of. And the third one, which we actually banked on, was innovation. We felt that the industry was always looking for new innovations and things that they could build their business on and speak to customers in a way that was unique to other products on the floor. And we thought we had that, but it turned out that there's really only 1 and 2. Innovation, such as what we had, really didn't get us over the finish line. It actually didn't get us over the start line. So as much interest as it generated, as much excitement as we were able to generate, it was, as they say in the movies, failure to launch.
What is it like to be so sure that you have a winner and then have to rethink your entire strategy? Because I've had people say it to me, the best product doesn't always win.
Correct.
And I think at market, by far, this was the hallmark of innovation at that market. And for many markets, probably before and thereafter, why didn't the best product win? Why didn't the innovation win?
Look, I think there's a level of innovation that is a natural progression in an industry like we live in, and it's when it doesn't really disrupt what you've already built. What we have disrupts what you build. If you think about it, if you look at our marketing, we talk about one bed is essentially 20 beds in one. If you think about the way the industry works, about merchandising stores, an adjustable firmness mattress is actually counterproductive to mass merchandising a store. So when you talk about this is really compressing all of this into one, is really not what retailers or wholesalers that may represent your product want to hear. And I think if there's anything I've learned is the effort required to move people toward a different category of product is exceptionally difficult. And I think when it comes to it, people weigh up risk and reward. And, there is a brand that's in the marketplace that had some early experience with placing their products in mass merchants, in Sleep Number in the early days. And I think that generated some opinions about whether or not this was going to be an easy path. And And if you're changing or adding a foam layer with some cooling in it, it creates a great story, and it doesn't disrupt the main flow of your business and how your business has functioned for many, many years. When you introduce a bed like iSense, it's quite disruptive to the story about how you sell it. And, I think it's a technology that is better suited in its own space when you can bring customers to it, have one story that's not contradicting in any other way what's around it. And, I just think, we got very, very close. We had some very significant players who took a lot of time, a lot of effort to get us to a finish line. But there was always something that just prevented it from getting over the line. And I think it's obvious to this day that this type of technology still isn't sitting in mainstream American retail. So I don't believe, I guess the only way to answer your question that you can learn from it and move on and just take the hit and get back up is I don't think it's anything we personally did. I think we did our job. We presented it well, but evidence suggests that it really isn't it still isn't in mainstream America 6 years on, and probably won't be for a while. So you have to take a different approach, and we could have rolled over and said, that's it. We've exhausted a lot of capital. We've exhausted a lot of energy. The team that we had, which was, I think, some of the best people in the country, who were very passionate about getting iSense over the line. When we pivoted our business to direct to consumer, we needed a different team. So we literally had to rebuild the business from day one, ground up, and a new team altogether. So,
And that's the pivot you made. You actually did make the pivot. So you were trying to go wholesale, which is sell it to the retailers. And I've talked to friends in the industry that made the similar shift. And I remember one friend telling me he got frustrated with doing business in the mattress industry, and so he made a pivot to direct to consumer, and he 20x'd his business.
Yep.
What happened whenever you pivoted over and you took iSense direct to consumer? Because by the time you did that, you were in a mosh pit in terms of ad spend and customer acquisition. That was really expensive. So what happened?
So we started selling the very next day. So immediately we became not a product development business anymore. We became a selling business. So we made the decision after the July market 2019 that it was that we were going to bring our efforts in wholesale to an end, and that we would pivot the business over to direct to consumer. We cleaned house. We basically prepared a transition. September we started doing the real work. We developed the site to be transactional. We made some tweaks to the product to get it from 3 down to 1. We decided we no longer needed foam, spring, and air. Partly because the message was too confusing to convince people of what each technology does, why it's different, and why you would need one over the other. That became a really difficult and unnecessary task. So we chose, of the 3, we chose the technology that we thought had the strongest path forward.
Which was it?
It was the adjustable foam sitting on top of a coil. So we still had the coil in the bed. So we have a coil foundation with a foam core through the center layer that houses the 14 air chambers, and then foam above that. So it's still a solid mattress. If you remove all the air from the chambers, you have a plush mattress. And then, of course, as you add the air, we can change the support level of the mattress. So, we realized that the adjustable foam had the best combined story of being able to use spring and foam, but only having one air technology was really the path we had to go. So we made all those changes, and on the 13th of January 2020, we turned the site on, and immediately we were selling. So we realized that the pivot was worth the effort. And I guess from that point on, we had to learn how to become digital marketers, as you said, in a very saturated space, that a lot of money was being thrown at this category of selling mattresses online. So, and of course, it was only, within a month, the news of COVID had broken, and, we had just opened up a new factory, and of course, supply became, we were being allocated supply as a new company. I said, so you're going to sell me 50% of nothing. Thank you. We'll take that. So, we were brand new, dealing now with this massive crashing of a supply chain, with the new factory that we just opened and people employed. And so now we had some new challenges, but look, COVID is the horrible experience that it was actually, for a digital company selling expensive products online, actually supported that endeavor. So because people were staying at home, and if they wanted to buy a product, they really didn't have a lot of choice. Retail stores had closed their doors, and so it kind of helped to give us the momentum we needed.
So, did you experience a similar hockey stick lift in your business? I mean, did you go? I mean, it sounds like you didn't really get out of the gates fully in the wholesale channel, so you can't really say, "Oh, we 20x'd our business." But did you see the type of sales that you would have expected to see in a wholesale channel in the D2C environment?
So I set a program for the business. I called it um, the 5X, and we essentially wanted to hit our first million in the first year, hit the next one in the first quarter, hit the next one in the first the first week, and then the next one on the first day. We kind of wanted to build our business around these segments of growth. And what we did find, unlike a lot of the stories that were going around about some of the new startups that were selling, that sort of $800,000 price point, that was just in huge demand, and the growth was the hockey stick. We were in a very niche category that required a lot of effort to educate people and to show them the benefits of what iSense had to offer. So it has never provided that hockey stick approach, but every time we've learned, we've built onto that platform, the next layer of growth. And so, we haven't stopped growing since the day we opened. So we've really enjoyed, really enjoyed constant, continuous growth.
Why is it that Sleep Number just dominates the category of adjustable firmness? I mean, you kind of described one of the problems. One of the problems being, in the mattress industry, it's antithetical to the way they merchandise their floors. They want to have an assortment of different beds that you can try. And if you take all those different beds and you create the upsell opportunities and the step up stories and all the different technologies, and you've got selection, and that's part of our business model, and you put it into one bed that you can adjust, then it kind of undoes a lot of the selling story and the training that you've built your entire business around. That's one of the issues. So if you put an adjustable firmness mattress on your floor, you got issues. Now, that's kind of like a thought process that I hadn't gone down. Originally, I thought, well, if you try to play Sleep Number's game where they're selling in a very controlled environment and you're selling multiple products, well, they're clearly going to be better at that than you. And I thought it was the vertical nature of that Sleep Number business. But when you look at it and put it under like the Paul Longman magnifying glass, and you say, this is really what's going on, and this is why it will or will not succeed, and this is why Sleep Number dominates this space, how do you analyze that?
I think if you go back through the history of that company, how they've built up, through QVC, through wholesaling to retail, to eventually testing stores, to putting them into malls where they don't have a brand recognition, but they've got high traffic spaces, to then becoming a destination location that people go to because they know Sleep Number, they know what it offers. It takes a long time and they've gone through that pain. They've had the worst and the best of times, but all the way sticking with the same vision of what adjustable firmness can do for people, and staying on that path of developing the business to best deliver that message. So they've ended up in a place that's so foreign to the general population, the general marketplace, that catching them or copying them is a really difficult task. And I've got to tip my hat to them for that reason. That they've evolved through many different platforms to get to the place that they are now in. And if you try to emulate, as you said, if you try to emulate that in the way traditional mattress stores are merchandised, it would be very hard to compete and be as good as, because when you go into a store like Sleep Number, you're not in any way compromised by surrounding merchandise. It's all there to complement. Everything that is there as a family of products that tell one story. Not, I've finished telling you this story, now let me take you over here and see if you prefer this story. And I think, while ever that's happening, they'll always have that dominant position, because I think they've carved out their message, they've carved out their story, and they've carved out their channel by which to sell it in. And nobody's really followed them down that path. So they kind of own that space.
And they just stack the benefits as you go through that process, and they're very well trained on it.
So
Whereas they're
that's
not
the
having to
missing
build value in
piece.
something else.
that's the missing piece, is that, they do have the technology that they can stack onto. It does, adjustable firmness. You know, we we buy, we buy a mattress when we're conscious. We use it when we're unconscious. It's not until we wake up that our body tells our brain if we made a good choice. If you can pick up your phone and you can actually make an adjustment if you did make the wrong choice, that's a true benefit to a customer. And not to mention on just one side of the bed, but on both. So, adjustable firmness mattress has a place to give people a solution when they get home, try the product and see if they, feel that they made the best choice. And if not, they can make an adjustment. So, you know, but that is not necessarily a complimentary message when you have a lot of merchandise to choose from. I mean, that's the industry I grew up in as well. It's not being critical of it. That's what it is. And and I say that to answer your question. That is, when you have an adjustable firmness mattress, whether it's Sleep Number, iSense, or some of the other brands that are out there, when put together with the mechanics of how an industry is being built, there's some contradiction there. And I think when people realize that contradiction, many have not been willing to take that challenge on. So hence, it kind of lives in its own niche. And, you have to go build it for yourself.
Yeah, $1 billion plus niche on top of that.
Two,
People didn't
2.2
know.
billion now. Yeah.
Was it at 2.2? Yeah. Gosh, the value of focus, creating your own category,
Yeah.
and then just grinding it out, especially when you know you had some success. Hey, let me ask you a question. You've got a lot of experience in the mattress industry. You love it like I love it. I can feel it. I know it. What are some of the secrets of the mattress industry or the sleep industry? Like, what are some of the things along the way where you're like, maybe it was when you pivoted over to your direct to consumer business with iSense and you said, what, this is what's happening? This is really it? Maybe something you picked up along the way. What are some of the secrets that come to mind that people will be like, really, that's how it is?
Um, that's a great question. Needs a bit of thought. Um, I guess you kind of make up your own truths along the way. Definitely, the truth about how the industry is, what the industry is willing to invest in became a huge truth for me. That was a truth that pivoted the business away from one thing to something quite significantly different. So the truth of, what it takes to bring something to market, to get the interest of people and to get it into store and thriving, I had to learn that truth the hard way. But, in time, one of the other two categories of what gets you successful may come along as well. We're generating a lot of traffic. Um, that one day somebody may see value in that traffic, and we have another channel that we could perhaps approach. So that's definitely one huge truth that I had to live through.
The
Um,
checkbook, the traffic, and the innovation truths.
yeah, I mean, it's just a reality of commerce, and I think it's not that innovation isn't welcome. It's just the innovation. There's almost like a disruption meter. How disruptive is this, and how hard do I have to work to create an environment where this can be successful? And that was probably the most significant secret that I learned. Um, you need, if you want to break in and offer more to the wholesale. For example, in Sleep 8, we have an upholstery business now, and I will look to that business. It's essentially European product at Asian prices. We have the chance to have a cost benefit because Portugal is a really good economical place to produce. It is a European country and it's in the epicenter of furniture manufacturing. So it's got a great story that we can build around upholstery furniture. And I think learning the truth of iSense, I won't make that same mistake again. I think Sleep 8 has some products that have some real benefit to offer the wholesale marketplace in the US. But, great designs, fair prices, and really quality product, will always have a place with many retailers in this country. So I'll take the truth that I learned from iSense and apply that truth to Sleep 8 products, and I think we have something to offer the wholesale market again. I certainly haven't given up on wholesale. It's a very powerful force. You live in the heartland of that, Mark, and we just have to be cognizant of what products are of interest to be successful. So we'll be keeping our eye out for whether we can redefine that truth.
Well, I'll be keeping an eye out for it always. Well, speaking of products that people are interested in, which you just mentioned, let's do the Sleep Summit quiz question answer. So, what percentage of mattresses sold in the U.S. are adjustable firmness?
I wouldn't put it any higher than about 6.5, 7%.
6.5 to 7%.
So it's still very much a niche.
What do you think it's going to grow?
I do. I think it took. We can all look at the adjustable bed category now and think that it's very successful. It's contributed an awful lot to business, but it took years to reach that point. And the question is, did it have to evolve over that amount of time, or is it just our ability to accept the process that was necessary to sell those products? And I think with adjustable firmness, the benefit of an adjustable bed is very low risk. You drop it in underneath your mattress. It doesn't take up any more floor space, and it has a potential upsell that's quite. And it used to astound me. So again, as another truth, it would astound me how this industry took many, many years to embrace that add-on sale, because it took well over more than a decade when it really became mainstream to really get it to where, and today it's only 15%. Like I said, our attachment rate, sight unseen, online, where the customer hasn't even touched the product, is 50%.
So the industry, just to put a red underline on that, so the industry attachment rate right now today is 15%.
Correct.
And whenever a customer goes online and they buy from iSense, it is 50% attachment rate for the adjustable.
Correct. So what does that tell you as the truth? Is it that the people that go in stores aren't interested in adjustable bases, or the selling process that inspires people to want to buy an adjustable base isn't as mainstream as we think? 15% is quite a low number for something that in the category that we live in seems to be, well, for every two customers, one is buying an adjustable base, so adjustable foundation. So I think the truth is that the selling processes around such technology are always going to be challenging. We sell the mattress first, and not always do we put the effort into the foundation that goes with it. But that's a lot of gold and in their hills. Worth mining.
The people
Imagine
that actually
15%, imagine if 15% in this industry went to 50. What an incredible amount of revenue would be generated as a result of that.
Well, if you want to learn more about some businesses that did over 100% attachment rates, go back and listen to the Sleep Summit show that I did with Guy Perez, the new president and chief operating officer of Ergo Motion. He's got a great story about how somebody actually has above 100% attachment rate for an adjustable base. And I think you're right. I mean, the dealers that we talk to that have actually shown the adjustable base under every single mattress, and then they do the head up, do the foot up, do the 1-minute demonstration, and just show people how it changes the comfort. They bring it and then they take it away. They sell the snot out of them, and it's high ticket stuff, and it doesn't take up any more floor space. And if you can get it to the house, you plug it in and go.
So why is it only 15%? It's a rhetorical question, but you would think it would be much higher.
All right. Well, hey, just the category of adjustability. Let's just be advocates for that. I love it. Well, Paul, hey, I got to ask you about the strangest place you've ever slept. But before I do that, what did we not talk about that you want to get into?
It's a good question.
Anything frustrating you right now in the industry or beyond?
I think I think the industry is obviously going through a bit of hurt at the moment. I think it's a great time to come out with innovation and ways to stimulate and drive people back to store. And I just love innovation. I'm just such a big fan of trying to find ways, and we've got some great ideas and great things coming up in the near future just to target pain points of customers. We survey our customers that to try to find out why they bought iSense and why adjustability is important to them. And it's incredible the amount of people, like 75% of people are complaining of some form of pain, whether it's induced by the bed they're sleeping on, whether it's life itself, whether it's injury, or it's uncomfortable to realize just how many people are actually suffering from some form of pain they carry with them either. And, do they take that pain to bed, or do they wake up with that pain? Obviously, if they're waking up with it, it is time to get in a store and buy a new mattress. If they're carrying that to bed, then we need technology to help people get through that. It's not only just about the great night's sleep. It's about what can, adjustability in the mattress, adjustability in the foundation. They're all things that can dial a person in to help alleviate some of that pain. And that's what we love about iSense. Reading the reviews where, people have carried certain pain for so long, and they're turning around and telling us that they found their comfort, they found their adjustment, and it didn't disturb their partner. And that's probably one of the most magical things about it. To get their problem solved, they were using technology that had that in no way interfered with how their partner wanted to sleep and use the technology. So, that's what excites me, is finding more out about what the customer really wants, and designing products around solving those problems is just, that's what gets me out of bed in the morning. Combining forces with Sleep 8 and having this broader range of capability just gives us so much more access to designing those products. So, that's what I love about the industry.
Yeah, those are really great like pause point type thoughts, because you're talking about people being in pain, and that's a shocking number to think that, roughly 75% of people are experiencing some type of pain. And I wrote down one time that this idea that a bad mattress or the wrong mattress for you keeps your pain alive. You don't even have a chance of alleviating that pain if you have a bad mattress. So that's something to really like consider, is like, oh my gosh, if I'm waking up with that pain. And then it made me also think about a previous episode I did on Sleep Summit show with Greg Law. He's a retailer out of Lake Norman, North Carolina. And he said something to me that really stuck. We talk a lot in the industry about sleep and about getting a better night's sleep. He said the conversation on their sales floor has shifted. And he said, this is now about hope and healing. He goes, we're talking to people that are now hopeful that their pain is going to go away. They're talking about how they're getting better sleep, which allows their body to heal. So what a magnificent evolution of our message to make it about hope and healing, especially if that many people are in pain.
And to realize, again, through asking our customers and learning from them, to realize the amount of people that don't understand that their sleep environment may be causing that pain. Just thinking that it's just a natural part of aging and a natural part of life, that they just have to put up with it, when in fact it's being induced. And there's actually a way to get around it and a way to solve it. But this, as sophisticated as we are as an industry, there's still a lot of education that's needed, and a lot of opportunity to help people find the right solution. And that's where, again, it all, for me, comes back to innovation, because the products have to do something. The secret to I guess my world is, we have to create products where, we can only do so much in a retail store. You can only do so much in that moment in time when people come in, they're busy, they're shopping, they might have kids with them, and they're going to take a moment in time to try to make a choice for the next 10 years. The secret for me is innovation that gives them some capability when they get home. The first night, the next year, the next 5 years, to actually make adjustments so they can dial into their personal needs. And that's development of an industry that will come one day. Like I said, 6 or 7% today that I think is the adjustable firmness market. 15% is the adjustable foundation market. I think when we look 10 years from now, that 15% is going to be a lot higher. And I think also there is a revolution of companies that are getting more involved in adjustable firmness. They're recognizing that there is a benefit in offering that capability to a customer. So I think in time, there will be a movement beyond the main brand that's out there, where others will find their way into the marketplace, see the benefit that it brings customers, and then really start to find channels to push the technology. I hope that the adjustable firmness market will follow the benefits of the adjustable foundation, because there's certainly a lot of value in giving people adjustable firmness, that they can make choices in the comfort of their own home.
Well, Paul, it's been great hearing you tell your story, and I know it's just another new chapter, a new beginning as you head over to take the reins at Sleep 8, and I wish you best of luck on that adventure. Before we do wrap up, though, I have to know, where is the strangest place you've ever slept And I would expect it's someplace with some sort of adjustability in it, but it can't be one of your mattresses.
Actually, you take me back to a time in my youth when I used to get around on a motorcycle with a bunch of close friends, and it didn't matter whether it was the mist of summer or the mist of winter. We would ride anywhere and any time, and we found ourselves going up a motorway up north of Sydney, through the mountains that a bit like the roads in Missouri, where they cut away huge amounts of rock to cut the roads through the highways through the mountain. Well, it got so cold we couldn't ride anymore, so we found a little trail up the side of this rock, which was way up in the to get to the top of the motorway, where on the ledge of the motorway we made a fire and we camped there for the night. Well, it was probably 4 o'clock in the morning, still pitch black. We're shivering by now a worn out fire, and all of a sudden, in this little tent, up comes a set of headlights banging into the tent, which was a highway patrol, realizing that we're not supposed to be sleeping on the side of the motorway. And we got kicked off, but we almost jumped out of the tent off the side of the ledge because we were sleeping right on the edge of it. So sleeping on the side of a motorway in Australia in the middle of winter was a pretty crazy place to find myself sleeping. But
Especially to wake up the headlights coming at you on top
the
of that.
headlights, that was scary. We thought it might be the end of whatever we thought we were enjoying. But this police officer was very unimpressed that we'd chosen to sleep on the side of
So what happens? You pack up the tent, and you just have to head down the hill and ride a different direction until the sun came up and you thawed out?
Correct. It was a pretty uncomfortable night, to say the least. So yeah, don't want to sleep there again.
Well, hopefully you don't have to sleep there again, and maybe that memory keeps coming back to you as you think about adding more comfort to the world, personalized comfort to the world. Well,
Personalized comfort. There you go.
well, Paul, hey, thanks again for being on the show. It's nice to have you here on the Sleep Summit show. If you're listening, please, feel free to pop over to Paul's website, check out his products at myisense.com. They're really impressive, and I do remember that immersive experience you created where you put on the headset. It was incredibly well done. You're an absolute innovator in this industry, and I love to see your journey. Can't wait to see what you come up with next. And we'll have to have you back here at some point to give us updates.
Look forward to it. Thanks, Mark. It's been a pleasure.